All right, here we go. We're going to go in and 3.
Is this thing working?
Hey, y'all, how's it going?
It's great. It's great to be here.
Man, I hear you.
Another day. It's Wednesday, hump day.
We're thawing out finally.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
I know you guys, everyone out there have been so cold. Everyone's cold. All over America's cold.
Hey, man, I'm not bragging or nothing, but I stayed in the house till today.
Yeah. I finally
outside.
got up and actually went out and participated in society today.
It's too cold,
it's
man.
It's just too cold to get out there.
Yep.
Absolutely cold. But anyway, we are here today to give y'all great information, fun times, good listening on your commute from work.
We just feel like today we got something. We got the border, but we got other things today.
We got other things today. We're excited about that.
So, yeah.
Yeah, we're going to give you an update on the border. And we have this new thing we're going to do because there's so much happening right now that's going on and news-wise. And it's like bang, 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 bang. So we're going to start doing headline news at the beginning so that we can just
Let's
brush
go
over
to it.
that.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do it now.
Just summarize what we're doing.
We're going to summarize
That's all
headline news, and then we're going to move on to the border.
To what we got.
That's it. All right. So my first headline news is per the Wall Street Journal. I just had to tell everybody this today because it just totally just made me roll my eyes. China identified COVID weeks before telling the world.
Which we all knew.
But I had to be there. I had to be the one to say, see, I told you so. We all told you so.
Yeah.
That China knew about this. That it came from China. That right there admits, straight up.
Yeah, but that's the kicker of all the shit we've been through over the past 4 years now. You know, is anytime somebody would come out and tell the truth about what was going on, they got canceled, they got snubbed, they got bashed in the media.
Anything.
The lies are okay. And it's crazy that all of a sudden now they come out with this, they finally admitted it. Dude, it's like 4 years past the fact now. And that's your game.
And nothing's going to get done.
That's your game.
It's the same play every single time.
Every single time.
Let's just censor everybody for 4 years, and then we'll just let it out whenever they finally catch on.
That was what they thought their game was going to be. Elon showed them a little bit different, and I'm glad of that.
Very thankful.
Man.
Very thankful for
even though
X.
Zuck's kind of calmed down a little bit, but it's election year. Here we go. It's going to begin again. We told you that already.
Yeah. Oh, and speaking of elections, from Just the News, we're going to talk about the Biden administration. They relist the Houthis as terror group following months of Red Sea attacks.
Them.
They relisted them. President Trump had them listed, and they came right in and took them off. Just like they did everything that he did. They just, like it never happened. It's amazing to me. These people have been out there attacking our ships for, 2 years now?
What'd they say? I seen a headline yesterday. I think it was like 137 attacks.
Yeah.
You know.
And they've just let this go on.
Yeah.
Giving them all this money, because they're attacking our ships. They're stealing money, They could have stopped it a long time ago, I believe.
Well, sure, they could have. They could have stopped it immediately.
Yeah. Our next headline today is Gateway Pundit. Yeah. Now, normally I wouldn't even say anything about this because I'm not a big Jamie Dimon fan because he's a Democrat donor. And I don't believe what he says. So just we'll point that out there right away. Jamie Dimon defends Trump and Maga. Calls out Democrats for demonizing millions of Americans. Democrats need to grow up, he said.
It's about time.
Yeah.
It's about time.
They should have done it a long time ago.
Yep.
They should, he knows that's not a winning message. That's
right.
the only reason he come out and said that.
Yeah.
But he did say that these people that are voting for Trump are not voting for the man. They're voting for his policies.
Exactly.
He said that.
Yeah.
In this article. And he also said that, under Trump, there was no inflation.
There was no wars.
There was no wars. the tax incentives were good.
Yep.
He said that out loud.
Yep. And people were starting to get excited about moving manufacturing back here.
Yes.
Yes, they were.
So that's a big deal. So y'all just keep an eye on that. And then one other thing before we move on to the border, because I have a clip I want to play. Jim Jordan came out with the Weaponization Committee today, and he posted this on Twitter. He said the federal government flagged terms like Maga and Trump to financial institutions if America's completed transactions using those terms. Also, text like books, like the Bible.
Yeah.
If you bought the Bible.
If you shopped at Bass Pro Shop.
Yeah. So, yes, our government hates us.
They do. And we'll prove that point even more here in just a few minutes.
Yes, we will. We'll continue to prove that point right here. Do you have any headlines, James?
I was just going to talk about what the Border Patrol Union said about the Biden administration. That was pretty funny. But also, here's some news about the state of Texas. And this will come from Sarah Fields. Sarah is a investigative journalism reporter at the Publica Now. She's an Army veteran, Republican state delegate, public speaker. And so I follow her on Twitter quite a bit. And this was a breaking story that she had today. It says, breaking, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled against House Bill 900, also known as the Reader Act. This is here in the state of Texas. The Reader Act removes pornographic materials from public school libraries in Texas. So that's kind of what I got here to talk about a little bit. That, and then we're going to talk about one of our favorite, Laura Loomer.
Yeah, we're going to talk about her. Well, cool. Yeah, now that we've ran down what we're talking about tonight, I'm going to go ahead and play we're going to start out
with the War Room.
With the War Room, a clip with Steve Bannon talking about Speaker Johnson, giving his thoughts.
And the border.
Is Joe Biden's presidency God's will? Oh, I know where you're going with this. Okay, so I said in my speech before I took the gavel that, look, I'm a Bible-believing Christian, right? Bible-believing Christian believes what the Bible says, right? The Bible says that God is the one that raises up people in authority. I believe God is sovereign. By the way, so did the founders. I quoted the Declaration of Independence. They acknowledged that our rights don't come from government; they come from God, and we're made in His image. Everybody's made the same. We all are given equal rights and value, and that's something that we defend. So if you believe all those things, then you believe that God is the one that allows people to be raised in authority. It must have been God's will then. That's my belief, right? But I think that
dude, he's an illegitimate president. Have you lost your freaking mind?
That's exactly what I was thinking.
This election was stolen. Don't start giving me. Don't be a theologian. I don't need a theologian. I need a Speaker of the House. That's what the country needs. Joe Biden's not a legitimate president of the United States. Note to the Speaker. So no, God did not raise him up. Yes, it was providential because we saw everything they're trying to do to this country. From the school libraries to the schools to the invasion of the southern border to pumping money into their bioweapon, money laundering, child laundering, child trafficking, organ harvesting situation in Ukraine, and sell out to the CCP. And him coming out right away immediately, I don't believe in the independence of Taiwan. Think about it, the Taiwanese people sat there with the Chinese having a gun to their head and saying, if you vote for independence, we're going to blow your head off. And they voted for independence from China as heroes. And what does that guy come out and be? Well, I don't support independence. No, God did not raise him up. Sorry, not sorry. Johnson, I can't tell you what. Just focus on the frickin' border.
Amen, brother.
Just do what you're supposed to do.
Tell him,
and
Steve.
Don't give me any more happy talk. We got to wait for Trump. You can't put it all on Trump. You're the Speaker of the House. The framers and the founders gave you the power of the purse. Shut it down. I don't want to hear March. You're going to get 4 more bills. We're going to do this. We're going to do this. You're always going to do something. Well, do it at midnight. Cut off their frickin' money. It's simple. Start to play Smash Mouth, or somebody around him ought to get up there and play Smash Mouth. It's time to stand and deliver. And folks, today's the day you give them the bayonet in the back, say, nudge along. Nudge along. Come on, keep it up. Keep up the pace. Let's go. You bunch of worms. 202-225-3121. Put steel or titanium in their spine today. And say you're tired of this. You're tired of the lies. We're now going to be into March. And no appropriations from last year that you guys promised and committed to when everybody rang doorbells and knocked on it in 2022 to give you this power. And now you got every excuse in the world. And don't look the other way in the border. It's an invasion. In Langford and folks in Oklahoma should be ashamed of this. It's on you, folks. You put him there. And that's another Bible. He can quote the Bible stem to stern. Look, guys like Langford, and I hate to say this, guys like Langford and guys like Johnson are going to lead to mass conversions to Islam by young men. Wait for it. If that's what Christianity gives you, if that's what it gives you as far as being a warrior, when you roll over to your enemies.
Wow.
That was powerful.
Well, I tell you what,
but that's
though.
the truth.
I was going to say.
He's speaking the truth. What needs to be done now? They need to stand up and deliver.
You know, I love that about Bannon. He didn't pull no punches. He called them out on their BS immediately, you know, and then told them what they need to do, which is the obvious answer, which we all need to scream at them each and every day. Close our damn border.
Yeah.
Stop this now.
And they continue to do this theater. You know, last time they said, well, we're going to do this. Every single time they promise they're going to do this.
They're not going to
They're not going to do nothing.
They're not going to do nothing. This is election year. They ain't going to make a move to piss other people off or their donors.
Their donors.
Or their special interests. Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just, you know, our government hates you.
Yeah. Well, check this out. This is from Allie Bradley, and this is talking about today also. We've got the state of Texas and Ken Paxton at odds with the federal
DHS,
government, with the DHS,
DOJ.
the DOJ, and President Biden.
Oh yeah, it's a civil war between Texas and the government. The government is accusing Texas of allowing migrants to drown.
Well, they accused them, but we found out that that's been a lie.
Exactly, they found out that's been a lie.
The
and they're
DOJ finally
still,
admitted that.
Yeah, but they're still like trying to go after our attorney general.
Yeah. And this kind of goes back with what Allie Bradley's tweet is all about, and that's why I brought her up just a second ago. Because, look, what we see going on, somebody's wrong. And the way that the law reads, and the law is on our side in this, not the federal government side. Check this out. This is from Allie Bradley today. She says, according to your letter, and this was actually Ken Paxton's letter that she reposted. She reposted the letter, and also she put her comments in here too. But so it starts out. It says, according to your letter, the U.S. Constitution tasked the federal government with ... securing the nation's borders. When were you planning to start? So Texas AG Ken Paxton responds with threats from DHS. He says, your letter misstates both the facts and the law in demanding that Texas surrender to President Biden's open border policies. Because the facts and law side with Texas, the state will continue utilizing its constitutional authority to defend her territory, and I will continue defending those lawful efforts in court.
Then he goes on to debunk claims from the federal government, which
Yes.
they're still claiming that they were at fault.
That Texas was at
Texas
fault.
was
The state
at
of Texas
fault
was at fault
when
for the
they
migrant
were
drowning.
not. And even the Border Patrol Union
Yeah.
stood up and had something to say.
Yeah, even they did, too. They sure did.
Border Patrol Union hammers the Biden administration on false accusations.
This is what they said today. They said anything put out by the Biden administration about our border should immediately be considered propagandistic crap until such time as they actually say something that's true. From falsely accusing Border Patrol agents of strappings to blaming Texas for 3 drownings, these people are incorrigible. Amen. Man, I am glad to see that finally, man, people are
finally,
all
people-
beginning to go, this is bullshit, you guys. You've got to close our border.
Yeah. They see it. They see what's going on down there every minute. And
Every
they have
minute.
had, the government has not had their back. But you know who has their back? Texas.
And this is what I replied in the Allie Bradley tweet earlier, too, after I read that and read the letter. This is what I said, and I'll stand by this each and every day until something changes, until this administration can show us that they're wanting to protect our country and instead of destroying our country. This is what I said today. I said the federal government is derelict of their duty. And you could go as far as to say they've actively aiding and abetting an enemy and endangering the security of our country. I said treasonous, to say the least. They're quickly becoming the enemy of the citizens.
They are. I believe that is their end goal.
Yeah, it's got to
really
be. When
do.
you look at this administration and all the things that they have done that's counterproductive and endangering our national security by allowing a open border, it's treasonous.
Yeah, it is treasonous.
They're aiding and abetting an enemy.
Yeah. It's totally out of this world because, you know, it's not just the fact that, you know, there's cartels down there and everything. Let's look here. I have another tweet from Allie Bradley. She tells us what the Biden administration had given her was, it's from Homeland Security, the amount of children that are in custody. And look, right here it says, this was yesterday's. She said 231 unaccompanied minors crossed the southern border yesterday. Compare that to last week when 54 unaccompanied children were encountered in a single day. And then she goes on to say there are currently 8,033 kids in HHS custody. 422 of them are in fed facilities where there is bed space for 2,000 kids. The rest of the 7,600 plus are in 296 facilities across 27 states, according to HHS. This is what's going on at our border. We have 296 facilities across 27 states.
So they're trying to say that in those facilities there's only 26 per facility. Just like they said what was that number for the 2,000 bed facility? That
402 of them are in a federal facility.
So are they saying it's less than 25% full? Is that what they're
that's
trying
what
to
they're
tell
trying
you?
to tell us, yes. But these other ones, I mean, they don't tell how many's in which facility. They just tell you that 7,600 plus are in 296 different facilities across 27 states. So they didn't break that down.
Yeah. Well, that would be roughly about 30% is what they're trying to tell you.
Yes.
Between 25 and 35%, oh, we don't have that many in there. We've got these big old huge facilities. They're only 25%, 30% full.
Right? But
Are you trying to fill them up? Is that what you're doing?
Well, I'm just wondering why they're in these facilities at all, because I can remember during the Trump administration that they were in cages, supposedly, which came from Obama's administration.
Yeah.
So I don't get the facility thing. Why can you have 296 facilities over 27 states? Why is that even allowed? Facilities, what are those?
Well, that's their holding centers. So that's 10 per state, basically. 11 per state is what they're telling you.
I thought it was pretty interesting to know what's going on at our border and that all these children don't seem to have parents. I wish we could fix it today, but...
Yeah. We've got other issues even right here in our state other than the border.
Yeah, we do.
We got the courts and the groomers at odds with our school systems. And that's
with
what
Sarah Fields.
That's what Sarah was talking about. I wanted to kind of talk about this for just a second or two. This was the tweet that she put out here today. And this was about, 3 or 4 hours ago. It says, breaking, the Fifth Circuit Court of Appeals ruled against House Bill 900, also known as the Reader Act. The Reader Act removes pornographic materials from public school libraries in Texas. The standard of the bill will remain in place regarding what is appropriate for children. However, book vendors will no longer be rated, which means enforcement for the bill has been weakened.
I just don't understand that book thing.
Well, it's just this is all a groomer effort. This is all an effort of these groomers, and now they've got courts ruling in their favor. You know, look, I just caught my eye when I seen this today because I get plenty of notifications from a lot of different people, follow a lot of different people, and this one caught my eye because once again, here we are with these groomers and these pedophiles and they're targeting our kids again. You know, they just keep coming after them and keep coming after them. And I just want to stress the importance of each of us in your community where you take your kids to the schools, where you shop in these stores, where you live inside these communities, and you take these kids to these schools. Let me tell you something. Local school board elections are important. And this ought to continue to just wake you up again to the fact that these people are not going to stop at this. And now you've got this going on too. Now the courts are ruling that in their favor.
Yeah, what do you do?
One of your last line of defenses is pay attention to your school board members. And if their school board members are not what you know your community and your children need, then you need to get them out of there and put somebody in there that will.
Yes, I agree with that. 100%. These schools, you know, they're getting this woke, what they call wokeness in them.
Well, they are, yeah.
You know,
definitely.
And we really DEI.
It's everywhere.
It's all the same. They keep changing the name, but it's all the same. You know, they do not need to be indoctrinated. They don't need to be taught things that are unnatural.
Well, you don't need to expose them to porn at a young age like that.
No.
You just don't. You know, what responsible adult would do that?
I guess Democrats.
Leftists.
Well,
yeah.
Either way, they're the same. But okay, so you know my stance on this? I will tell you what I think about this right here. I think, you know, me and James, we have a little bit of a disagreement between Democrats and leftists, okay? I think all Democrats and leftists are the same. He thinks that Democrats are different than the leftist and that there are common sense Democrats out there. But I am telling you, if they voted in any way for Joe Biden to be in that White House as an old man who did not even go out to campaign, are you kidding me? He was in a basement for 2 years. There is no way in heck that I will ever call them just a plain old common sense Democrat.
Maybe they didn't vote.
No,
maybe they set that one out.
Those that voted that and really thought that was better than President Trump, they're Democrats and leftists to me.
I just laugh. It's funny.
It's okay. It's okay because those are the people that will sit right there and defend that stuff.
Yeah.
They will defend porn in school. They will let their kids read that stuff.
Yep.
Because the government said so.
Genderqueer.
Yes.
Books. Yeah, I know.
So I don't understand that.
It's disturbing to say the least.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It is very disturbing.
And what's crazy is a few years back, stuff like all that would be against the law. They'd be down there trying to look to arrest somebody over putting that material out in schools. And
it was against the law whenever we were kids growing up. We could not buy a porn magazine.
Well, you didn't have it in your school either. You didn't have a threat of it being in your school.
But if you couldn't buy it, then why is it in your school? Okay, so there you go.
Anyway, what did our favorite one do? Laura Loomer. What's she got going on?
She always has something going on. This girl is a breaking news fanatic, and she likes to break people's will, I guess. I don't know what you call it, but
she
likes to
man.
Loomer them, is what it's called.
Yep. But she brings receipts.
This is a video that Laura Loomer posted that refers to her post that we're going to talk about. Here it is.
Everybody's asking in Florida is, why is he still in this race when there's really no path to victory? I think I have the answer, but that's what everybody's wondering.
What do you think the answer is then?
I think he's betting on Jack Smith. And I think if you pay he's betting on criminal cases and cholesterol. I think if you pay very close attention to DeSantis and you listen to what he says and you listen to what he says in response to voters, is he does not think Trump is going to make it to the finish line. He thinks that Trump is either going to be convicted and in jail or something else.
And that's what Loomer said. This is about Ron DeSantis, and she back in July of last year came out with this and said that DeSantis was working with Jack Smith. And she had receipts back then.
Yeah, I remember that. And I'm thinking that not too long ago that even DeSantis made the comment about Trump would probably be in jail. Wasn't it during one of the debates or before the debate, leading up to it?
He did, and I think it was in one of his rally speeches.
Yeah, leading up to a debate.
I think him and Haley both are waiting for him to drop out.
Right.
Or to be arrested. Or, Loomer and several other people have come out and said that they're going to kill him. And that's what everyone is really concerned about. What does this government have on Ron DeSantis?
Who knows?
Or Nikki Haley?
Right.
They have to, because, the only person that's running doesn't have anything that the government can hold over him.
Yeah. It's all a blackmail game.
So they have to have
leverage.
Something.
It's all a blackmail game and leverage and dirty deals.
Yeah. But Laura Loomer, she said Ron DeSantis is working with Jack Smith to attack President Trump. And now my reporting is being echoed by others in the mainstream media. Looks like the Democrats agree with me now, as well as my analysis regarding why Ron DeSantis won't drop out of the GOP presidential race.
Right? Proved it right again.
Yes. And she will continue.
And I'm glad she called them out on the fact that they're trying to come up and say these things now when she's been saying it already. It's like they try to memory hole and push you out and then break a story, later on. They do that.
Yeah.
Fox is bad about it. Fox News is bad about it.
They all are. They're so bad about it. Sometimes I wonder if they get their news from these breaking news reporters, and just ignore them and act like it's theirs.
And don't give them the credit? Yeah.
Yeah. That's what they do. That's why she points it out.
Exactly.
And I like that about her.
Yep.
She don't let nobody get away with it.
Nope, she don't.
So what do you think, everybody?
Is this thing working? Well, hey, everybody, that's it for today. Thanks for listening, and I hope you've enjoyed the show. Hope you've learned some things about what's going on around us in the nation and in your communities. We couldn't do this without your continued support either. We appreciate all of you showing up, taking the time to listen to us today. So please, like I say, make sure to hit the like button, share our show with all your friends. We'll see you next time on Is This Thing Working? And as always, I'm James, and that's my lovely co-host over there,
Denise.
And we'll see you next time.
We're out.